Okay, you guys, stay tuned. We're gonna tear off the cylinder heads on this Hemi.
Last rebuilt in 1972.
And here we go. Hi, I'm Nick, and welcome to Nick's Garage.
Hi, I'm Manny, and welcome to Nick's Garage.
Well, we've got something different. We have something special to do tonight. All we have to do is a little teardown. This 66 Hemi Coronet belongs to a lady who loves purple. And of course, the car is a deep, dark purple color. Anyway, she's brought it here from Texas. And her father, Mike, has asked her to bring it here so we could do some work on it. And we had the engine pulled out because she wanted the headers off the car, install exhaust manifolds, and of course, replace the whole exhaust system. So, we're just gonna do a partial repair on this engine because, everybody has a budget. And she's paying all the bills, not her dad, it's her. Julie's paying for everything.
And she's very special,
Yes.
beyond the purple car and the Hemi, in that she races.
You believe it?
I'm impressed.
I'm very impressed myself.
impressed.
So Jules, if you're watching,
Kudos to you.
Kudos to you. I'm really surprised. Anyways, so what we're gonna do here tonight with Manny is I just want to remove the cylinder heads. It's been rebuilt in 1972. It was upgraded with a little simple camshaft, and they've had it rebuilt back then, and it's never been tearing apart since then. So I wanted to put it back on the dyno to see what kind of power we're gonna make. We did have it on the dyno when we did remove it from the car. It pulled out about 412 horsepower at 5,300 RPM. You ready, Mike?
Oh boy. We got seatbelts, put them on.
Not bad.
That's pretty good for
Factory at 5,000 RPM, it was pulling 425.
Right.
But I'm sure we could do a little bit better than that. But I wanted to rev it higher because it was still climbing. But like some people say, you got to be careful when you rev it high. The springs are probably weak. We don't want to have a valve or push what come out of place with a high RPM.
That's right.
So for that reason is we're going to remove the cylinder heads, do a valve job, upgrade the valve spring pressure, and of course just put it back. Like I said earlier before, everybody's got a budget. We have a few things to be done on this car. We've converted it to power steering.
Right.
We've also got the dual master cylinder to install because
Safety.
it's a single reservoir.
Yep, need that safety.
We're gonna redo the whole exhaust system.
No headers.
No headers. She also bought a set of exhaust manifolds like we had tested on the dyno.
God bless her.
And of course, we're gonna do a valve job. So that's about it. And the thing is, I just wanted to take it apart and see what it looks like.
I agree.
So, man, if you're in it, let's remove the intake, valve covers, cylinder heads, take a look at the chamber, and take it from there.
I'm in.
I'm tearing it apart is because, I like to rev it a little bit higher. And, they might kick the car, I'm not sure, because, she's a cruiser. She's not going to race it. I doubt it very much.
Wait, she was racing an Imperial back in the day.
Back
high
in the
school.
day, yes.
Poor Mike thought he was giving her an Imperial to keep her safe.
Yeah,
She had it on the track.
Her father
That's
passed
what it
her his Imperial, and she took it to the racetrack and raced it.
That's pretty cool.
And she won $50.
Good for her.
And that's good. So you know what? She might kick it again, even though she has this Hemi Coronet. It's an original Hemi car, by the way, you guys. It's an automatic 66 Hemi. Is it matching motor? No, it's a replacement block since then. So, in case she kicks it, I want to make sure that she's got good valve springs. Maybe bring up a little bit of power with the valve job. We're not going to change bits or anything like that. We don't want to blow the budget. So what we're going to do is just take off the heads. And then, of course, once we do a valve job, we're going to put it back on the dyno with the manifolds like we did before, and then put it back in the car. And at the same time, install the power steering, which we did. Then we have to put the pulley, the belt, and of course the steering box we already had installed. And back in '66, the car comes with a single reservoir master cylinder that feeds all 4 brakes. Nowadays, we don't like that. It's a danger thing, right?
Yep.
Imagine that one cylinder leaks on any of the drum brakes, you can have no brakes whatsoever. So Mike gave me a call, make the car safe, also more friendly with power steering and a dual master cylinder. And of course, we'll take off the heads, give it a little bit more horsepower, and take it from there. You know, I've seen so many Hemis come and go in this place. It's fascinating how many Hemis come in here. Yep. You know, they brought this car up from Texas. Mike from New York, her dad, said to bring it here and, you know, take a look at it. Because, you know, the headers that were on this car were really, had a lot of pinholes and were leaking everywhere. And, you know, we said, you know what, let's go with exhaust manifolds. Also replace the starter because the starter was missing once in a while.
Right.
So we've got some repairs to do on this. But the exhaust system, the job Mike did, piece after piece after piece, it's horrible, Mike. You did a real, but then again, that was back in the day.
And it was on a budget.
On a budget in the streets, he did that.
You gotta
but
give him for that.
we're gonna do it good.
Yeah. Especially with manifolds.
Yeah, you know, it's a more simple, you know, she's not racing the car or anything like that. That's what I tell a lot of my viewers and my clients. If you're not racing, you're cruising with it. Does it really matter if it has manifolds? No.
Well, there's a switch set up on one of the firewalls that I kind of confusing. There's a starter relay bypass or something.
Yes.
Okay, there's a couple of washers here on the top. We're gonna have to be careful when we take it
I'm
off.
gonna get a magnet for that.
I think we're gonna need one. I'll go grab one, Nick.
Okay.
I don't want them to fall in
We'll
the...
take out the plugs in the meantime. We'll start by removing the valve covers, and then we're gonna take off the intake manifold. And everybody's asking, you see this lift plate? You can't buy this. This is made in-house by Dan. Dan made these lift plates.
Of course.
Only for the Hemi. It's a dual quad setup. And the ones you buy from the auto parts or from the speed shops, they don't fit the Hemi. So these were custom made for us. Thank you, Dan.
You're the best, Dan.
Okay.
Let me grab those. Before you remove that, Nick.
Yeah, you want to grab the...
Hold on.
I'm just gonna see if I could just... See if I can remove the valve cover lightly. You got the washers to remove, eh?
I don't want to lose them inside the head, Nick. Give me a
No
sec.
problem, no problem, no problem. If they're stuck there...
No, they're coming.
Yeah, you know, this engine last built was 1972 from what Mike is telling us. Don't forget the car is a 66. And brings back memories when back in 1974, I bought my first Hemi, a Hemi Cuda 71 with my brother Phil. Since I've owned the Hemi Cuda since 1974, that's a long time ago. And this one here, 2 years earlier before I bought my Hemi Cuda. So this is pretty old, you guys. You know, somebody made a comment like, Nick, why don't you know, when I had the engine on the dyno, take it up and rev it up. You know, don't be afraid. You know, let me tell you something. You know, when the valve springs get weak and you over rev it, and you know, maybe the valve doesn't want to shut, maybe the valve might hit the piston or the pusher one might fall out of place. You know what? I don't care. When I asked Mike, you know, I took it to 5,500 RPM on the dyno. I asked Mike, if you want me to go to 6,000, knowing that this engine's been old and old valve springs, we took a chance at 6,000 RPM. So now that we're gonna do a valve job and upgrade the springs, we're gonna rev it a little bit higher than that. So there's a comment that you guys were saying that, you know, one of you guys were saying that, you know, why don't you just rev it higher? No, I wouldn't gamble that. And that's the reason why I'm taking off the cylinder heads.
And it is a gamble, because anytime you go into an engine that it's been a long time since it's been rebuilt,
Yeah.
you never know what's happened to it. You don't know if it's been over revved. There could be bent push rods. Why would you take a chance when you have it in a shop that's gonna go in it anyway?
You know, I said it.
Yep.
I even told Mike, if you want to go to 6 grand, it's your choice. This is a solid lifter cam, eh? Look at this.
Of course it is.
Okay. It's a solid lifter, flat tappet cam. Well, back in the day, that's what it was. Okay, they didn't have rollers in the Hemis those days. All right. I'll start loosening up the rockers, crack them loose. At the same time, we're going to see if there's any lifters worn out.
That's right.
Not that we're going to go to a cam change. They have done a cam change back then. It's like roughly a little bit over 500 lift.
That's substantial.
That's what Mike said. They changed the cam.
That's a good number.
Okay.
Like you're opening up the valve almost half an inch. That's impressive.
That is correct. You know, if you guys look at the retainers, these are aluminum retainers, cadmium finish color. They're not factory. The factory retainers are steel. These are, I believe, aluminum. You know, I don't recommend them for the street, but, you know, they've been on for such a long time. I'm going to leave them on. They're aluminum. So, you know what? Doesn't matter. We'll put them back in. They're lightweight. And for that reason, it's good. You know, when you have a weak valve spring and a super lightweight retainer, it helps the reaction of closing the valve when you rev it up.
Yeah, you have a bunch of reciprocating mass that doesn't have to reciprocate as much mass.
That is correct. You know, if you guys take a 440, it's got one shaft, all 8 rockers. This being a Hemi, if you guys can take a look, there's 2 shafts. Why? Because the intake valve is the opposite of the exhaust valve on the same cylinder. Now, if this was a wedge, both valves would be side by side. One intake, one exhaust on the same cylinder. Then the next, the same thing, and then the next. But on a Hemi, being a hemispherical head, the valves work like this, hemispherical. And that is the reason why there's 2 shafts on the cylinder head.
There we go.
You have it?
Yep.
And by the way, these are factory rocker arms.
Cast iron?
Cast iron, yes sir. Oh boy, this one's pretty, this one is pretty tight. You know, I should get something to turn the engine over because there we go.
You want to
Go get a socket, I'll go get it right away. How's it going, Manny?
Going good, Nick. Just making sure we don't break any of these.
You know, the Allen bolts are not factory. You're usually 7/16 bolts and studs on the intake manifold. But they put Allen bolts, but
Yeah,
I'm thinking if I should put them back the same way.
You know what, Nick? Nostalgia.
Oh, I know.
They were there before. We'll put them back.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna get all the push rods out of place, but I got one stud that doesn't want to turn.
She's being difficult, is she?
Yeah, you got it. You see it's mangled up, you see it? Somebody's forced it on. The other ones are perfect.
She had a hard time.
Take a look, that's perfect. You see that? And that one's been forced on, so we're gonna replace this adjusting stud on the rocker. Look at that. Can't get it
All
out.
right. Do you need me to rotate the engine?
No, I need to.
Create more force.
You know what? I'm gonna put a vice grip on it because it doesn't want to turn. No problem. We'll take it out. I'm gonna replace it anyways.
Okay. Makes sense. The way this engine was put together from the looks of it, it was hopped up. It wasn't stock. So somebody put some love and attention into it. So, you know what? Well done.
You know what? I love doing teardowns. You know why?
Why?
Sometimes you find surprises.
Tell me about it. Did you expect the
No, I didn't
retainers?
I didn't expect these retainers. No.
That is freaking cool.
Okay.
Okay. It's just the outside one, right, Nick? That has on the end.
That's right.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, this one we're gonna scrap this one. That's for sure. And we're doing another thing on this car.
What's that?
We are overhauling the transmission.
Excellent.
The automatic transmission. Yes, we're going to overhaul it. Because?
Torque Flight 727?
No, apparently it's got no second gear. I spoke to Mike the other day. He told me, Nick, take down the tranny, overhaul it. I said, no problem. We'll do that. So that's another one. Transmission, and we're going into, well, you know, we're doing a few updates on this. It's a beautiful car. It's a rare car also.
It's solid.
It is a
Like
solid
if you look
car.
underneath the car, it's a solid vehicle.
It sure is. It sure is.
It doesn't look like it spent much time in New York.
No. Well, it's plated in New York, but the car is from Texas. Okay, here we go.
Let's go around. Actually, this one.
Okay, let me crack these roofs now. You know, there's one Hemi after another here, over here.
Can't get better than that.
No.
I still can't get over the fact that she was racing an Imperial and won.
That's a big car. Yeah, her dad passed her the car and she took it out for racing. You got to give her credit. After all, look what she drives.
Yeah,
A Hemi,
no.
A
Full
Hemi
points.
Coronet. Is that something or what?
That is
For me, she's a winner.
Absolutely.
What's wrong?
This one looks weird.
Yeah,
Why
no.
is it so short?
Yeah, it's probably broken inside the cylinder head, so we're gonna take it out anyways.
All right.
Don't forget, it's been sitting there for a long time.
Like you said, you find all kinds of things inside of the old build.
You know what? Maybe these bolts I'm not gonna put back. I don't know if they're grade 8 or not. You know, when sometimes you have an old bolt and you go retighten it, it
And
snaps.
It snaps.
So I don't want that.
That's not going to help.
I'll ask Mike if he wants me to do some detailing on the engine, like the way it came from the factory. After all, he does have that big chrome original air cleaner, or should I say, his daughter Jules has it. It's right here in the back of the shop.
Okay, so I'm going to remove all these.
Okay, you take
I don't
those
want
out.
them to stick.
I'm going to turn the engine over, take out the other side push rods.
Okay.
There we go.
Just You okay?
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn the engine over so I can just
Get rid of
remove.
this one.
Yep. It's down,
Okay.
isn't it? Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
Got it.
I'll put it back.
No.
Thank you, sir. So we're gonna take off the intake right now?
Yeah, just being careful with the washers. I don't want to drop them inside the motor.
Okay.
Make sure it all comes out as a unit.
See, in this case, some people would put a screwdriver right here and pick this up. Knowing that the intake is jammed, you might damage or break the intake.
Correct.
Here you got the material. You put it right here and you jam it in to lift the intake. Just tap it a bit with the hammer. I'll show you how. You know, they're gonna say, Nick, that's a screwdriver. Don't use it as a chisel.
For the amount
You know,
of force that you're applying, it's
know.
irrelevant.
Plus, I got so many screwdrivers. Does it really matter? Oh boy, this is not moving.
Okay.
Manny,
That is just a hold down. That's just
that
a
is
hold
correct.
down.
The outside,
All
outside.
gone?
All gone?
All
okay.
gone, Nick.
Somehow.
Pry bar.
Don't forget when you're hitting. Oh my God.
What did they screw it in with?
It's solid. It's, you know, the old thing. Everybody uses silicone and glue.
Well,
When I keep saying the gasket makes the seal.
I'm only going to cut him a little bit of slack because it is from 1972. Otherwise, I agree with you.
I'm
Let me
very
get a-
surprised.
You know what, Nick?
I don't want to damage the intake, you know. No, I'm going to break the screwdriver. And I don't want to break the intake manifold either.
So all the bolts are off.
We'll
maybe-
get something more solid.
Yeah.
See, this is
Let me
the
get a pry
plastic.
bar.
The plastic handle, it reacts like a.
A spring.
That's right. Oh, it won't budge. You bring in a chisel. You know what?
This might work too, Nick.
Okay.
Let me go in the front and try prying. You hammered this in a bit?
Look at the valve cover gasket. They're
Yeah.
they're so dried up, they crack. Here you go. Manny, catch it underneath there, okay?
I think this might be too thick.
You need
for
a
back.
bigger hammer?
For back here, it might be too thick.
That one has metal right up to the end.
That's right.
You need a bigger hammer.
Wow. Let me try the back.
You know, I've removed the intakes from old engines, but they were not this solid.
Let me go right in where you are.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, that's gonna break.
That's gonna break. Don't do it there.
Yeah.
How do we do it?
That's a good question, Nick.
Give me the hammer for a minute.
How about from in here if I, no. No,
Okay,
that's
forget
not
it.
gonna work
No.
either. What the heck is
Doesn't
holding
work.
it down? There's no inner bolts,
No.
so there's nothing really to hold it down.
I don't know. Ay, ay, ay.
This is the only
How
spot.
about if you grind that? Yeah, that's the strongest point. Wow, it won't budge.
You know what, Nick?
All these screws
I think
are
you're
off.
right. Let me get a
Screw
chisel. We'll go at a less abrupt angle.
Wow, this thing won't budge. I like the valve cover gasket. Look, it's so brittle. You can tell it's so dried up after so many years being on it, on the engine. Anyways, we'll take care of that. Bring a chisel, Manny. And the intake is made out of aluminum and we don't want to break it. So we got to get it off one way or another. Spatula. Doesn't want to budge, eh?
They must have used glue. They must have, Nick.
Oh, wow. This is something, isn't it?
There's nothing else holding this thing. And it feels,
It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. You
You
got
hear
it,
the tone
you got
change?
it, you got it. Apply it slowly with this.
got it? Got it. Wow.
The back.
Actually, let me lift the front a bit while you do the back and see if it'll, there we go.
There we go. Take the intake.
Got it.
Put it right there on the bottom, Manny.
Wow.
Wow, you could tell they glued it. Look at this.
Whew.
My, they glued it 100%. Anything broken? Anything
No,
welded?
note to all our viewers. That's excessive amount of glue.
I'm looking at the cam. There's no
No, it looks like
no
there's a good
scratches
wear.
or nothing.
Good
I
wear
noticed.
pad.
You see the lifter valley?
Yeah.
They drilled some holes
To allow
for
it to
the
leak
oil
down.
can drip down on the cam.
That's a good move.
Cool, eh?
You know what?
But those
Not
were
a bad idea.
those were the days. Not bad at all.
The only issue I have is why so much glue on the intake?
Yeah, right here. Look at this.
Oh, you were right, Nick.
What?
Broken.
The stud that's broken inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get it out of there. Don't worry.
Okay.
You know what? Do not remove the lifters. I'm just gonna take one out. Take a look from underneath.
Pick one.
It is a solid lifter camshaft. You could tell. It's got no openings on the side,
Yeah, it's
so it's
solid.
a solid lifter and it looks pretty good. You know, we had it running on the dyno. It sounded good. So anyways, now we cracked the rock. We gotta crack these loose.
Yes.
The 426 Hemi, it's not like a 440. The Hemi, if you look over here, you guys, there's inner studs that are just underneath the intake port. So we have to crack these 4 nuts loose and the head bolts, rocker shafts, so we can remove the cylinder head.
What size would that be, Nick?
9/16.
All right,
And they
sir.
might be pretty tight. They're torqued down to 75 foot-pounds.
Let's see.
Start from the end. I'm gonna start from the end and go out. Okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
That was fun.
Okay, you start on the ends, I'll start on my ends
right.
over here. Here we go.
Okay, that's good. Going to the other side.
No, but I forgot to put a tray. But
Catch.
anyways, we're not moving the pan anyways.
No, if we were flipping it over, absolutely. Okay, you're doing the middle one?
Go ahead. I'm in the center now. This is loose. You got yours up?
Yeah, they're loose.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Then I'm going to use the electric ratchet. Knock them all out.
Ooh, that was fun.
Got that one out. Let me try this side now.
Okay, give me a second. Let me do the middle ones too.
Okay, go ahead.
As soon as you get that.
All right, I'm there.
Okay, give me a sec.
You got them loose? Okay. You got them all, eh?
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, I'm gonna go get a tray. And if you don't mind, rip them all off. I'll get a tray to put all the bolts in, okay?
Okay.
Give me that.
Thank you.
I'll be right back.
Is there anywhere you want me to put the rocker shafts?
Yes, I'm gonna put them on the second shelf.
Okay. Okay, second shelf it is.
Manny,
Yes,
your
sir.
plastic trays that come from your
Oxford Learning.
Oxford school board really does
Yeah.
a great job on.
Okay.
You got a pry bar? I'm just gonna crack it loose. Where's the pry bar?
Right, no, that's a breaker bar.
You got all the,
Hold on, hold on. They're off.
okay?
Yep.
And you know what? Put them on the, well, you know what? Here,
I can
Manny,
put 'em
it
on
here.
the-
No, put it, this one's cleaner, this one.
All right.
Okay, then take all the bolts off if you
Okay.
want.
We'll take the head.
Yeah, crack them all loose. These are,
Are these factory bolts?
yes, they are. You know, the valve springs are also updated when they did the camshaft change. You know why?
Why is that?
It's got double springs.
Nice.
I don't believe from the factory there were double springs on the
Hold on.
valve springs. I doubt it very much if they were double. If you take a good look, it's got an insulator and two springs, one inner and one outer. So it was made for high performance. Let's put it that way. There's no question about it.
See, they put the money in the right places.
Absolutely. You know, when you put a hotter cam, you need a stronger spring.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's why we have no issues on the dyno. But I'm going to check them. I'm not saying I'm going to replace them. Might have to shim them up a bit, get a few more pounds out of it, put it all back, do a valve job, check the valve guides, put new valve seals, and of course, put it back. You know, when I brought the car into the shop, it wasn't burning any smoke or any oil, so we're not going to touch the pistons or the rings. The oil pressure was good, so I'm not going to touch the bearings. We also had to replace the oil pan. He had a 10-quart oil pan with the dry sump setup.
Yeah. It was in a dry sump or like excessive oil?
Yes, and with a monstrous oil pump. So what we did is we replaced the oil pump with a high pressure, put a factory Hemi oil pan on it. with a factory strainer, and the oil pressure is good. So I'm assuming the bearings are good.
Well, you had oil pressure on the dyno, right?
Yes, I did.
So we should be good.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, let me make some room for you. Hold on.
That could go in the valley if you want, or yeah.
We're gonna put the cylinder head. Here we go. You ready?
Yep. Okay. Hold on.
Okay. And bring it over here, Manny.
Nick, you want to check the front?
Yep. Give me a second. What do you got?
It's still holding on in the front.
Distributor?
It may just be glue or something. No, it's not the distributor.
Hold it. Oh no, it's on the dowel pin.
Is it the dowel pin?
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Manny, hold on. I don't want to break the dowel pin.
I don't want to break the dowel pin either.
Okay. Hold on. Pick it up just slightly.
Yep.
There you go. This is a factory shim head gasket. Chrysler part number right over here if you guys can take a look. There's the logo. Dodge, Plymouth, Chrysler, DeSoto. This is a 20 thou thickness shim gasket. I also wanted to say that Chrysler or Mopar Performance no longer sells these original 20 thou shim gaskets. But if you guys Felpro makes the exact same gasket, 20 thou thickness also made out of shim. So if you guys want the perfect gasket, Felpro has it for you. This is what's called a hemispherical combustion chamber.
Did you see these pistons, Nick?
And take a note of this. These are not factory pistons.
No, by any stretch of the imagination.
These have been replaced.
Look.
These are not factory
the top.
pistons.
Looks like a higher compression.
Oh, yeah. That's why, we're not going to change the rings. We're just going to do a valve job and that's
that
it.
is
That is so
that is
cool.
something.
Yeah, these are not factories. They have a tall dome. These are probably close to 11.5, 12, but then again.
Even under the valve, did you see that?
Yeah.
There's a pop-up where the valve, where you would recess
Yeah, they
it.
want to, this is probably a 12.5 compression piston.
That's impressive.
So you know what? We're not going to plane no heads.
Nope.
We're going to do a valve job.
Yes, sir.
Shim up the springs, put the same brand new head gaskets of 20 thou shim, and that's it.
Keep it simple.
And you know what? From what I see, it looks like a very clean job. Mike did mention that they replaced the camshaft, but he never told me anything about pistons.
How long has he had it?
Quite a few years.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe, over the time he was like, maybe he let that little detail slip.
He probably forgot. Mike, if you're watching, those pistons are not factory, and it's 30 over.
And Mike, if you're listening, this is a nice build, buddy. You did a 1972, he said?
Yeah, this thing had some power. So
That was
yeah,
impressive move back then.
really, really nice. Hey, really surprised. I didn't expect the pistons. I expected the
Cam?
to be replaced,
Maybe
but
the
never
valve?
knew about the pistons.
The valve springs, maybe, but this.
And you notice it's got double valve springs, aluminum retainers.
I also noticed for the spark plug tube.
Yeah, they got those seals. You know why?
These are aftermarket.
Because when you're doing a tune-up or a plug change, the oil falls into the cylinder. By having these blue sleeves in there, it prevents the oil from going to the cylinder while you are replacing these spark plugs.
Yeah. So it
Manny,
minimizes the smoke.
We need the impact. Let's take off this cylinder head
You
now.
got it. On my way, sir.
It's got factory valves, a 225 intake, and a 1.94 exhaust. These are factory valves. Was there any port work done on it? I doubt it very much. Let me take a light and I'm going to take a quick look. Here we go. I'm looking to see if there's any port work done on it or anything like that. No, nothing. It's full of carbon. Needs a good cleanup. Here, let's take a look on the other one, right here. Manny,
Yes, sir.
these valves are full of carbon. Look at that. I think the oil is leaking down from the seals.
We'll fix that.
Okay, there we go.
For 1972 build, this thing's
right.
pretty nice. Okay. No problem.
And these are factory original cast iron heads. The 559 casting number, which is very common on 66 to 71.
They're all the same?
All the 66. and
Cylinder heads for...
all 6 years at the same number, 559. The last 3 casting numbers on the casting. Okay, there you go, right here. 559. Factory. Welcome. And on the dyno, I had an issue with the water pump. It's so hard to turn the bearing on this. Anyways, we're going to replace the water pump. I said that earlier on the dyno. Okay.
And the reason we can safely remove a Hemi head, remove all the head bolts
Yeah.
and nuts, and it doesn't fall off,
Yeah.
because of those.
Yeah.
That's a
it's
cool
got-
feature.
It's got inner studs. That is correct.
Every other engine, you're like, oh my God, maybe it'll fall off. No, not on
No.
this.
Yeah. If you look at the cylinders, they're pretty clean. Wait, want to crack it loose?
Please.
Here we go. And if it's stuck, let me know. I'll just.
Yeah. Okay.
Not budging.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Needs a little bit more, Nick. Okay, this one's good.
Pick it up. Manny.
There you
Okay,
go.
you got it?
Yep.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
Oh, I should have ate my
There you
Wheaties
have
this
it.
morning.
There you have it.
Overall, in great shape.
It is. 1972 was the last time a human got into this. Hey, it is what it is. So you know what? I am not taking nothing more apart. We're gonna leave it at that. It looks pretty good.
And it's a
We're
Hemi.
gonna clean it up, like I said. Okay, so back where we said. We're leaving the same cam, same lifters, and it's
can
30
still see-
overboard.
You could still see the cross.
Yes,
the crosshatch.
I want to show it to our viewers. You guys, you see the crosshatch? You could tell that there's not much mileage on this engine. And I'm looking at it, I hardly see any scratches on the cylinders either.
Very good.
It looks very, very good. We're gonna clean the valve, do a valve job, change the valve seals, check the spring pressure, put it all back together, put the same intake with new intake bolts. We're not gonna use the Allen bolts.
Sounds good.
Put a new water pump. We've already done the oil pump. And then we're gonna put it back on the dyno. And now we're gonna rev it higher than we did last time. I feel much safer.
Exactly.
And if I remember correctly, when I replaced the oil pan, it has factory connected rods in there.
That's
What
what
do you think, Manny?
I like it. We also have to worry about that one bolt that was broken in there.
Yeah, we're gonna remove that broken
And
bolt.
they look good.
Looks pretty good.
They look really good.
You know, being a Hemi car, I like to detail a little bit. You know, it had copper tubing on the fuel line. It's got the Edelbrock carburetors on it. It's got the original chrome air cleaner.
But remember,
I want to
Nick-
make it look nice with the exhaust manifold.
But remember, she's on a budget.
I know, I have to keep it
Paying
within
her
budget.
way.
Yeah, you know, she's paying the bills and
But we'll do what we have to make it look pretty.
that's right. Never forget, like we've done it, we got other things to
A
do.
little
Like,
elbow grease.
like I said earlier, exhaust, transmission, power steering,
Yeah.
dual master cylinder, and a valve job. And again, put it back on a dyno and see how it goes.
Sounds good.
Manny, thank you very much for helping me out tonight.
My pleasure.
Here we are, late hours again, like we usually are. So Manny stayed here with me tonight so we could get this top of the engine, take it apart on for our viewers to see what we got here, which belongs to this original 66 Hemi Coronet.
Which happens to belong to a woman. So a
Belongs to
car
Mike's,
girl.
Mike's daughter.
Yeah.
And let's do the best for her.
Absolutely.
Manny, thank you for staying by tonight.
My pleasure.
And let me say thank you to all our viewers for standing by here and watching us take apart this lovely Hemi.
And don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe. Leave comments below. Let us know what you think of this engine that's been sitting together since '72 and now is been disassembled for a refresh.
And there you have it. Thanks for watching us here on Nick's Garage.
Thanks, everyone.
See you guys till next time. Thank you. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.